Why storytelling matters. Storytelling is a skill that doesn't get much attention in the business world, with data and analytics oftentimes taking the spotlight. Tom admits that early on, EDO didn't recognize the importance of storytelling. The group of mostly engineers at the time thought that data should speak for itself. They found out, however, that story had an ability to bring the work to life. Now, storytelling is a part of EDO culture. It took us a while to realize this. The data, the messages, the thing that you care so much about do not speak for itself. You've got to think about how to wrap your data in the right story, says Tom, especially in the beginning, when a business doesn't have an established brand, raise story, campaign a picture in people's mind. They have other understand your idea and believe in your idea. From Tom's experience, there are four major storytelling moments that are essential for any entrepreneur: the elevator pitch, the origin story, the pitch deck, and the internal story. Story 1: the elevator pitch. Think of a company you are familiar with. It might be your old company, an organization who you work with, or one that you mind. Now explain what remarkable about what the company in 15 seconds. Because you only have 15 seconds and not 5 minutes, you need to make your story succinct and memorable. The elevator pitch is a concise way of verbally communicating what your business does. Essentially, it's the first opportunity to engage people around the story about the company. And because of that, it's helpful to practice so that you are ready to deliver it anyway. Whether it's in the meeting or on the plane, is tell people what they need to know in the short amount of time, which is why it's so important. Tom gave air clauses, ones of D for V's portfolio companies, as an example for a startup with an effective elevator pitch. Air Closet is a personalized fashion subscription service for busy women that combines the best of stick fish and Rent the Runway, enabling customers to wear the clothes before they buy them so that they can explore and experience with new styles. When giving your elevator pitch, remember to understand who your audience is and adapt it to them. An American football metaphor might work great in the US, but it might not work for a while if the listener is from another part of the world. Context matters. And when you consider your listeners' life experiences, you can tell a more effective story. In the elevator pitch, you are throwing away 99.9% what you know about the company. So in that 0.1%, you are picking the stuff that fits and resonates, explained Tom. Story 2: the origin story. How did you first start your business and come up with your idea? That's your origin story. Tom gives the example of financial software company Intuit at the business with a great origin story. Intuit founder Scott Cook saw his wife managing their family finances and thought, there's got to be a quicker way to do that. Soon after, he created a product to address it and named it Quicken. When sharing the origin story of your business or idea, it's important to be authentic. Tom said that if you have an interesting story, share it, but that you don't need to try to force it. For example, there's the classic origin story beginning in the garage. Why Apple, Google, and HP all started out the garage. Early Apple fully utilized the story because it's aligned with their brand. What works for every organization will be different. Rather than looking for a story that will fit with others, embrace your own personal story with authenticity and vulnerability. Story 3. The pitch deck. When you think of an entrepreneur, you might imagine something persuasively presenting a pitch deck. If it's a key representation that tells the story of how the company meets the unique need and is generally used the founder to raise money from investors. The elevator pitch opens the door for you, but your success or failure in raising enough money to make your enterprise fly is going to depend in large part of the pitch deck, said Tom. As an investor who managed the 4V's multi-million-dollar fund, Tom emphasized that there are few crucial elements that you need to include and communicate with the pitch deck. First, tell the story of your team in a way that gives people confidence in your skills and capabilities. Investors choose a team more than they choose a product. Next, Tom says to describe the total addressable market, which is the size of the market that you're targeting, particularly in the beginning when the venture firm is taking a risk by working with you. It needs to believe that there is a possible for your company growing its potential exponentially. Finally, so that the business will be financially viable, technically feasible, and distinct from your competitor. Beyond these few key points, everything else is extra and can be included in the appendix. As you craft your pitch deck, it's important to make sure that the pitch deck can live on its own without you there to deliver it. While you are often present your pitch deck alive and live, not everyone who needs to see it will be in the room, and it will likely to be shared with others after all. Because of this, you might think the sound bit or takeaway that you can leave people with. It should be easy for the audience to summarize your pitch deck after all. The clearer your message is, the more repeatable it will be to others.